As we continue to take a look behind the scenes at Superior Connections, a peer-based recovery community organization, we focus on its efforts in housing and sober living. The journey of recovery often intertwining with personal stories of love, loss, and hope. And today we share the heartfelt experience of Sarah Suardini, a dedicated program supervisor and peer recovery coach.
My brother often found himself in this cycle of being locked up, due to addiction or mental illness. He would get out of jail and then he wouldn't have anywhere safe to go. And by what I mean by safe is like a sober, dry home to go to.
Sarah saying both she and her brother Nick Suardini struggled with mental illness and addiction since their teens, but she'd always seemed to have more support than him. Still, her bond with Nick igniting her passion for helping others find recovery.
He would spend months of his life in the jail and get out for a short amount of time and be right back in there. It's never been a matter of like the kind of person my brother was. My brother was a very loving, very kind, very empathic person, which I think made it really heavy and hard for him to deal with things in this world sometimes.
Nick, who lost his battle to mental illness and addiction, his passing inspiring Sarah to take action, becoming a strong advocate for the organization so others know the value of community support in recovery.
He didn't really get the opportunity to see what recovery was fully like. He had been to a few treatment centers and, stayed for however long was recommended. If he would have had the opportunity to be in sober living, somewhere that could have supported him through those challenges until he was able to work himself up to a job and put money away to get his own place, then, I do believe if my brother would have had the opportunity to take those steps and to, come through a program like ours, that he would have had what it took to turn his life around.
Sarah helping create an environment not just about sobriety, but fostering self-love, acceptance, and community. Sarah's approach rooted in empathy and the understanding that many individuals in recovery come from chaotic backgrounds, emphasizing that everyone needs guidance to navigate a new path.
A lot of people that I feel like that suffer with addiction, it's because of trauma or things that have happened in their lives, things that we didn't necessarily ask to happen. They're just trying to learn how to cope with it and deal with it. They haven't been given the tools to heal from it. If you've only been raised in chaos, then how are you going to know what it's like to not be in chaos?
Through events like Nick's Run, a run for recovery happening again this May, Sarah's seeking to raise awareness and funds for Superior Connections, ensuring support for those in recovery, so the organization's efforts continue to grow. Superior Connections predominantly operated by people in recovery themselves, peers with shared experiences.
The farther I come along in my recovery, I think it helps to support them in their recovery, because it shows that if I am capable of doing it, then they can do it. And I'm able to just really be open with our clients, with the guys that live here in the house. And I try to show humility and explain to them about the person I used to be. I was this version of me. I was a version of me that struggled for a very long time. And I'm relieved to be out of that situation. But working here in the recovery houses is not only I feel beneficial for, I know what good it does for the clients, but it's also beneficial for myself and my recovery.
In the journey of recovery, every connection counts. And for Sarah, honoring her brother's memory fuels her mission to make a difference, one life at a time.
Sober living saves lives. Sober living saves lives. Not everybody that comes through this house is going to recover, but a lot of people do. And each one of those lives matters.
And for our last segment on the Roads to Recovery, Wednesday at 6, we take a look at Superior Connections and their efforts in peer recovery coaching and their field work. From IUP News, I'm Andrew Lawrencer.